And that really gets us to Treasury. They were downgraded by Fitch the beginning of August. We pulled here, we pulled on the right is looking at the largest credit ratings from S&P, Moody's, and Fitch. Moody's still holding on to that AAA. While S&P downgraded to AA plus back in 2011, and now Fitch is catching up and saying now AA plus makes sense.
Right, and it was not good to be the CEO 6 months after that downgrade. I don't think it's going to be the same with Fitch. S&P, oddly, though I would agree with their call long term, they were way early. We actually had a significant rally in Treasuries after the downgrade. I think Fitch is taking more of they're probably a better time at this point, because whenever we look at the math, there are certainly concerns there, and we're starting to see that in issuance. You want to talk about issuance?
Yeah, large issuance out of Treasury. They announced this really right at similar time of getting their downgrade, $103 billion in issuance. I just pulled headlines just to keep it really simple. On the left, we have the 3 and the 10-year. They were both actually absorbed pretty well. Came in very relatively close to yields that were being expected. It was the 30-year issuance that rates increased a little bit. There wasn't as much demand. That can be common, kind of called the segmented market theory, where there's not a lot of people that go out and buy 30-year treasuries. Last year, 30-year treasuries were down over 30%. So it's not really a space that we're buying a lot of 30-year treasuries either. Right. We will buy 3 to 10-year treasuries if yields are elevated enough. So you can see how there would be a lot stronger demand for securities like that.
Basically anyone that's buying those are probably matching it to a liability. If you're a pension, you're saying, with 30 years we're going to have this much in benefits to pay out. Let's just buy a bond, then we don't have to worry about it.
Yeah, then you're down 30%, but you
don't
okay
care,
with it.
right? You're just earning more on your yield.
Right, and with rates rising, it's becoming a problem for Treasury what they have to pay out.
And this is where I'm talking about on Fitch being good on timing. If we look at just how the debt of the country as it's been, and what I've been calling a mother of all arms, I mean, it's mainly short-term paper. And that was great a couple of years ago when you're paying less than 1% on a $30 trillion deficit or debt. Now, because that paper matures quickly and interest rates are high, we're seeing a sharp uptick. And if we get 3 to 4%, that's going to be pretty problematic, because the debt on 30 trillion is over $1 trillion. If it's 3 or 4%, yes, you're looking at $1 trillion of tax revenue that has to go out automatically, and it's after Social Security also goes out, Medicare. At some point in the very near future, if we're not there already, all of the mandatory spending that goes out by law, spending that Congress doesn't have any discretion on, is already consuming all the revenue they're going to bring in. So that means those discretionary, with military spending being the biggest one, there's going to be some type of cut that would be necessary, or what's more likely, and why we continue to favor equities long term, is you're going to have to inflate your way out of this situation. So they were going to continue to keep interest rates down. And I think that's the most likely, because the political will to default on some of this debt to make it go away just isn't going to be there, and you can't raise tax revenue high enough to cover it. One, the math wouldn't work, and two, you would see a contraction in GDP, so it would defeat its purpose. You'd probably end up with less revenue. So I think Fitch is right to downgrade on the concern. I don't think it's ever going to be a case where you're not going to get money back.